Alright, hi there, crazy Codigos. Today is tutorial number 10, I think, or is it 11? Not sure, but one of those for sure. I need to keep track of numbers. Something is very wrong with me. Anyway, today we're going to talk about something really interesting. We're going to talk about functions. And, well, let's dive right into it. Of course, if you've had any issues with the loops and the break statement and continue statement, put it down in the comment section below. I will address it. I will reply to everyone for sure. All right, here we go. I'm gonna get rid of all of this because we don't need it. So here's the thing, right? Sometimes, well, most of the times, you won't be working with code that is only 4 or 5 lines. You will be working with code that's hundreds of lines, thousands of lines, even, right? And in those kind of times, your code will obviously have not just one thing that it wants to do. It won't be like, I just print things or I just compute things. Your code will want to do various functions. It will want to, there will be something that displays something, there will be a computation function, there will be a database function, stuff like that. So obviously, if you put all of that into one huge chunk of code, then A, that reduces your efficiency, and B, it just makes it impossible to keep track of what you're doing. For this, to counter this, we use the concept of functions, where we basically break down our code into tiny manageable pieces and code it accordingly. Right. And there's also the fact that if you create a function, you can keep calling it or keep using it. Calling would be the technical term for it. Using it, it basically means using the function. So it becomes a reusable piece. So if I want to calculate a value at 3 or 4 different places during my code, I can just calculate it once in a function and I can keep calling the function instead of running that same 5 lines of code over and over and over again. So to start it off, it's pretty simple, way simpler than it sounds. To define the function, you simply use a keyword called def, and then you can name your function whatever you want. For example, I name it Codigo, right? And this can be a very simple function. It just prints, hi, this is a function. And that's about it. That's my function. So when I run this, as you see, nothing really happens. And there's a very simple reason for this. You created a function, for sure, you definitely did. But you never told Python that I want this function to be used. You never called the function. So Python is like, yeah, I have a function, and that's about it. So in order to call a function, what you do is you move out of the function block, you move out of the block, and you simply type out the name of the function and then the two parentheses, and then when you run it, hi, this is a function. See, pretty simple. So now what it does is, when your code executes, it executes this statement first. It sees, okay, you want to run a function called Codigo. So it goes up into the code and it looks for this function, which is called Codigo, and it runs the function, right? And obviously, if I just call this a bunch of times, it will print this thing a bunch of times. Pretty simple, huh? Alright, so this is a pretty useless function. Hi, this is a function. I don't think you'll ever need this, right? So let's talk a little bit about what these brackets over here are for. Okay, so I'm going to make another function right here. Let's give ourselves some space and make a function, and this time we'll call it addition. So the idea will be to add two numbers. Okay, and I'm going to put those two numbers right here. Right, and then I put in a sum and we just do x plus y. And then we go into here and we print out sum. And that's it. Now, when I go here, these variables in here are called arguments. Okay, So this is a function called addition and its arguments are x and y. So now when I call the function sum, I will want to pass in my arguments. So for example, I put in 5 comma 6, and when I run this, well, oh, I'm sorry, I ran the wrong function. There you go. See, it runs to 11. Actually, let's clear out this terminal so you can actually see it properly. Right, 11. There you go. 5 plus 6 is 11. And now think about it. You can run this as many times as you want, and you can run this with as many values as you want. You can do a 6, 6. You can do in 98 plus 32. And all of that would work. See, 11, 12, 130, whatever you want. So that's basically what happens in the parenthesis, and you can have as many arguments as you want. Just remember that when you want to run like a function, if the order of my arguments is x, y, then over here, when you call it, 5 will by default be assigned to the first variable, that is x, and 6 by default will be assigned to y. But if, okay, here obviously it will make no difference, but if I had a division, right, and I ran that, so this is a very different answer. But what if let's get rid of these two. What if I wanted 32 divided by 98? The easiest way would be to just put 32 here and 98 here, and then by default it will be assigned that way. But if I don't want to do that, I can always just, do y is equal to this and x is equal to this. And if I run that, see, it gives you a very different answer. See, over here it was 3 point something and now it's 0 point. So what happened was you put 32 as x and 98 as y. So instead of doing 98 divided by 32, it did 32 divided by 98. And that's about it for functions. I think that's a lot of information to take in and a lot of things to experiment with. I will do a lot of practice codes on the website for this particular tutorial. Please do check it out. I will link it in the description below. And well, that's it. Also, quick announcement, we now have a Discord server where you can come in, you can join. I'm putting the link in the description again. Join our Discord server, you can interact with us, you can ask us any kind of questions. In fact, if you want, you can even give us all kinds of suggestions and we can collaborate on different codes. It'll be really fun. And that's about it. I'll see you guys next Wednesday. I'm so sorry this video is coming out on Thursday and not Wednesday. It's been a bit of a hectic time for me, but oh well, here goes. All right, bye bye.